Next up, Atlanta Falcons 4-6, 3-2 on the road at Jacksonville Jaguars 2-8, 2-4 at home. We're at TIAA Bank Field in Jacksonville, Florida. 61 Fahrenheit, partly cloudy, 8 miles per hour, chilly in Jacksonville. Atlanta opening up as 1-point favorites. Hard to believe that they could be favorites against anybody in the entire National Football League, especially on the road. This total opened up at 46. There are 46.5s on the board. When we get to the cash flow, just 2,206 tickets in on this game, the lowest of any of the games. And why? I get it. But listen to this. 76% of the tickets are on the Falcons and 92% of the cash. 51% of tickets are on the over. 99% of the cash also on the over. Terry Walker says Atlanta or the over. Falcons come in off extra rest and prep after getting beaten up badly for the second week in a row, this time losing 25-0 at home to the Patriots on Thursday night. Matt Ryan, 19-28 for 153 yards, no touchdowns, sacked 4 times, intercepted twice. This just days after posting the lowest passer rating of his career in a 43-3 rout by the Cowboys last Sunday. Russell Gage led receivers with 5 catches for 49 yards. Their running was awful. They finished with 16 carries for 40 yards. Olsen had 9 carries for 34 yards to lead the team. Their defense kept them in the game. 3 sacks, 5 quarterback hits. A.J. Terrell had an interception. They simply had no offensive punch. And it's just because Cordero Patterson was unable to go? No. Look, he's a decent player, but guy's been passed around. Patriots focused on shutting down Kyle Pitts. That's what Belichick does. I don't know why we don't just take the player prop under whatever specialty player is going up against the Patriots week in and week out. I know why I'm not doing it because I'm trying to bet 0 player props this year. Falcons placed Dustin Colquitt, their punter, on reserve COVID list. Safety Jalen Hawkins and cornerback Kendall Sheffield were inactive last week. List is questionable this week. Jacksonville comes in off an ugly 30-10 loss at home to the 49ers on Sunday. It was a big mistake by me to back them against a Niners team that's clearly coming together. More wins than losses, but the losses hurt more than the wins feel good, and I need to change that. We all need to change that. Jaguars finished with 200 yards on 44 plays, 5th fewest in franchise history. Trevor Lawrence, 16-25 for 158 yards, 0 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. Marvin Jones led receivers with 4 catches for 52 yards. Chanot caught 5 balls for 50 yards. He did lose a fumble. They got nothing on the ground. They rushed 16 times for 54 yards. Looks like Robinson is still hurt. Looks like that heel injury is still an issue. 12 carries for 29 yards. They got no pressure on Jimmy G. 2 sacks, 4 quarterback hits. They couldn't get stops. San Francisco scored on their first 5 possessions. They ran 33 of the game's first 37 plays, had more first downs than Jacksonville had yards midway through the second quarter. Jamal Agnew hurt his leg in horrific fashion. He's done for the season. Meyer called it devastating. That's what you want to hear from your coach. What an ass clown. You want to say something like, I feel so bad for him because he's worked so hard this year, but we are a team that's going to pull together through. Not. Oh, it's devastating. What a idiot. Cornerback Shaquille left to be evaluated for concussion, was later ruled out. He's in concussion protocol. Quarterback Tyson Campbell left with a shoulder injury. He's listed as questionable. Left tackle Cam Robinson, knee injury. Safety Andre Sisco, groin left in the fourth quarter. Both are listed as questionable. Dakota Allen, who linebacker was inactive last week, listed as questionable this week. After talking this out, and I need to hear you guys, but I'm like, God, I just, anytime I mess around with the Falcons, I lose money, whether I back them or fade them. I have 1 win with them this year, but I believe I've lost 4 times. But don't we expect the Jags to bounce back? Isn't this Falcons defense a little different than the Niners defense? Although the Falcons defense not at fault. C-Mac, take it away. Falcons, Jags.
I feel your pain, Jimmy, with these Falcons. They have gotten me. I had a little run with them first half last year, and I could do that with the Cowboys. I wish they hadn't looked like such dog shit 2 weeks in a row, because we'd be catching points, I believe, with the Jags here. Now it's just a pick 'em. Atlanta -1. If they were any bit better in those games, we'd have points here with the Jags. This is just a total stay off for me. I think if you like the Falcons, they're notorious for getting big leads at halftime. Matt Ryan's just old back there. The offensive line's not very good. One thing till last week, Niners took off the pedal. Niners are getting healthy, by the way. They're looking a lot better the last few weeks. The Jags defense, I thought they were good in that win against the Bills. I don't think they've been too bad lately. It's crazy to say. I lean with the Jags. This is a game, though, I'm totally off. We've already, gone through games, almost 2 hours. I'll be quick. I'm off of this. So I want nothing to do with betting this game.
Viper's right. I find these bum fights so enjoyable.
I know.
And
I try to look into it.
I find them so riveting. Babano, take it away. Falcons, Jaguars.
Yeah, to me, this is a game that's tough to get involved with. I'll be honest. I can't make a compelling case for either side. Atlanta, after that pathetic showing on Thursday night against New England, now normally with extra time following a Thursday night game, I have faith in that team using extra time to put in a good game plan. I'm not sure Arthur Smith's capable of putting in a game plan that works from what I've seen here so far this season for the Falcons. So, you got to have a good coach to take advantage of that extra prep time. And I'm not sure that's the case right now with Atlanta. But you mentioned it with Jacksonville. They're in a position now where they've got to win the game to cash a ticket. I know they beat Buffalo. They beat Miami over in London by the skin of their teeth, but the offense is ground to a halt. The defense continues to really struggle for the most part. I still don't know how they held the Bills to without a touchdown in that one game. But, other than that, they gave up 31 to Seattle, 23 to the Colts, 30 to San Francisco last week. Just couldn't get off the field. That being said, you've got to believe Atlanta after facing Dallas and New England and scoring 3 points. How does this offense and Matt Ryan score just 3 points in those two games combined? Just absolutely brutal. And there are injuries on offense for Jacksonville. Robinson's banged up. Agnew's not going to play. Jimmy alluded to that ridiculous quote saying devastating. You got to instill confidence and belief in the football team. I'm not sure saying something like that does that. So rather than a side, maybe I get to the over. We'll see. 45 the total. It's got to be a game where I think Atlanta can at least do some things, at least with Pitts and Cordero Patterson. Now, Jacksonville can get a pass rush, but the one thing we saw from Jimmy G last week in that game for San Francisco, got the ball out quickly. Matt Ryan doesn't always do that, but if he figure it out, Matt, get the ball out quickly. You do have a pass rush here, Josh Allen, the other Josh Allen leading it. That's been pretty good at times for Jacksonville. Get the ball out quickly, find Pitts, find Cordero Patterson out of the backfield, because guess what? Jacksonville, and I know this from a prop standpoint, I've been picking on Jacksonville's defense in terms of tight ends, running back, receiver yard props, because they are horrible covering the middle of the field. Absolutely awful, the Jacksonville Jaguars are. So if you're Atlanta, find Pitts, the tight end, get the ball out quickly to Patterson, and if Smith has the freaking brain power, which I pray to God he does, he can't be that thick to not figure this out himself. This was a guy that was a good OC in Tennessee. If you do that, Atlanta should find their way to some offensive success in this game. So I don't want either side, but I might make a case as we go later in the week toward an over.
And, the more we talk about it, I can't fade Atlanta after how bad they've looked the last 2 weeks, because it's just not how the NFL works in this time of year. So this probably...
Look at the quality of opposition. Now, Trevor Lawrence has taken his lumps. This is not the rookie season he hoped for. But look at the defenses and teams lately. Tennessee, Seattle, Buffalo, Indy, San Francisco. This is a huge step down. Atlanta's a bottom 2 or 3 defense in the NFL. This has got to be a game where maybe we start to see that number 1 overall draft pick type of talent from Trevor Lawrence.
And I would like that, but I have the Falcons under 7.5 wins at plus 100. So basically,
Stick
I'm cheering
with
on.
Yeah. Cheer on the Jags, Jimmy.
So I don't need. Maybe I just stay off. There's only a couple $100 on it, but maybe I just stay off this.